You're staring at your phone. No messages. No calls. No voice notes. Nothing. At first, you tell yourself she's probably busy. Maybe work is stressful. Maybe her phone is broken. Maybe she'll call tomorrow. Then tomorrow becomes next week. Next week becomes next month. And suddenly, it's been 6 months. 6 months since anyone heard her voice. Yet somehow, nobody knows she's already dead. Because while her family in Indonesia keeps waiting for a message, the people responsible already know exactly what happened. Tonight, we are going to talk about one of Malaysia's most disturbing criminal cases, involving a famous name from MasterChef Malaysia. The death of a domestic worker known publicly as N.A. Welcome to the podcast You Can't Unhear. To understand why this case shocked so many people, you have to understand the people involved. Because from the outside, this looked like a successful family. The year is 2021. Sabah, Malaysia. Inside a condominium known as Amber Tower lives a couple many people would have admired. 33-year-old Etika Siti Nora Shakeen, an engineer. A woman with a master's degree in geology. A former finalist on MasterChef Malaysia. Someone who had appeared on television and built a public reputation around success and achievement. Her husband, Muhammad Amri Yunos, worked as a building contractor. Together, they had 3 children, a comfortable life, a respected social standing, the kind of family nobody would look at twice. Then there was N.A., 28 years old, originally from a Bugis family connected to South Sulawesi, working far from home to support the people she loved most. Her husband, her child, her family. And honestly, that's the part that hurts. Because anyone who has worked overseas knows the sacrifice. Missing birthdays, missing holidays, missing your children's milestones, all for the hope that the money you send home will build a better future. N.A. hadn't seen her family since January 2021. She had been given just 7 days of leave before returning to Sabah. Then she went back to work, believing she'd eventually see them again. By all accounts, N.A. was a devoted mother. She regularly contacted home, WhatsApp messages, video calls, photos, updates. The normal things families do when distance is the only thing keeping them apart. Then one day, everything stopped. No messages. No calls. No explanations. Nothing. At first, her family wasn't overly concerned. Phones break. People get busy. Life happens. But days became weeks. Weeks became months. And still, nothing. Imagine being her husband, checking your phone every morning, hoping today will be the day, hoping you'll finally hear her voice again. Instead, the silence just kept growing. 1 month, 2 months, 3, 4, 5, 6. And all that time, her family kept hoping she was alive. Then, on December 13th, 2021, something strange happened. Etika and her husband contacted police. They claimed they had returned from a holiday trip and discovered their domestic worker unresponsive inside their condominium. Police arrived expecting a possible medical emergency. Maybe an accident. Maybe a sudden death. They were shocked by what they found. Enna's body was in an utterly unbelievable condition. Her skin was peeled, as if she had been doused with boiling water. Her teeth were broken. Some appeared to have been manually extracted or forcibly removed. Even the hair on her head was completely gone, like she had been scalped bald. The police immediately realized this was a crime scene. No one could end up in such a condition from an accident. The injuries Enna suffered were so severe that police immediately suspected Etika and Yunus. Within 24 hours, Etika and her husband were arrested. This is where the story becomes difficult to comprehend, because investigators soon discovered evidence suggesting prolonged abuse. Not one moment of violence, not one argument that escalated, but repeated acts over time. The investigation revealed that the final days before Enna's death involved multiple incidents of severe mistreatment inside the condominium. The medical examination revealed at least 8 soft tissue injuries around Enna's lips and mouth, trauma to 6 of her front teeth, and torn gums in some areas. This indicated that the victim's teeth were forcibly removed using some kind of gripping tool like pliers, and it was done without anesthesia. These injuries were close to the time of death because there were no signs of healing in her body tissues, meaning that she died before her body could even begin to recover. And perhaps most disturbing of all, authorities later discovered photographs and videos allegedly documenting parts of that abuse, recorded by the suspects themselves. Imagine that. Not trying to hide it, not trying to forget it, recording it, keeping it, saving it. As investigators dug deeper, more details emerged. Questions about unpaid wages, restrictions on her freedom, claims that she had been prevented from returning home. And meanwhile, her family in Indonesia was still learning what had happened, piece by piece. The hardest moment came when her husband was asked to identify her. According to reports, the condition of the body made identification extremely difficult. In the end, he recognized her through personal items she was wearing, not through her face, not through her body. Just a small piece of jewelry. I think that's the moment this story stops feeling like a news report and starts feeling human. Because suddenly, you imagine that husband standing there, knowing the woman he loved is gone, knowing he spent 6 months waiting for messages that were never coming. Cases like this force us to confront something uncomfortable, because we often imagine cruelty wearing a certain face, looking a certain way, living a certain kind of life. But sometimes, the people who commit terrible acts don't look terrifying at all. They look successful, respected, ordinary. The investigation also revealed this wasn't a crime of passion or anger. It was repeated, systematic, and intentionally cruel torture. Meanwhile, the people who suffer often disappear quietly, known only to their families, known only to the people waiting for a phone call that never arrives. Maybe that's why this case stayed with so many people, not because of who the suspects were, but because of who Enna was. A mother, a wife, a daughter, a woman working far from home so her family could have a better life. And for 6 months, the people who loved her kept waiting, not knowing the answer had already been hidden from them. Stay safe out there, guys. I'll see you on the next episode of the podcast You Can't Unhear.